Welcome to a journey through the history of art. We will travel along a timeline from the caves to the 19th century. My name is Dr. Jeanne Willette. Let's begin by making the familiar unfamiliar. Sometimes the right idea and the right time come together, and although it is a historical coincidence that the French Revolution and the concept of art for art's sake occurred at the same time, the timing was fortuitous for artists. At the end of the 18th century, the ground shifted under the feet of French artists. The Baroque and Rococo styles were exhausted, and a new interest in a pure and reduced classicism had developed. Fueled by the rediscovery of Pompeii and Herculaneum, and by the presence of the Elgin marbles, a new style called Neo-Classicism could be read as a linear rebuke to painterly Baroque and as a serious art to counter Rococo excess. The British artists, presided over by their own Royal Academy, headed by Sir Joshua Reynolds, had adhered to classicism, inherently suspicious of all things French, and less politicized in their choices of artistic styles. The English aristocrats eagerly appropriated Neo-Classicism. Joseph Flaxman produced elegant line drawings and sculptures inspired by Greek vases. Angelica Kauffman painted genre scenes of life in classical times. Robert Adam pioneered a neoclassical architectural style as the Renaissance classicism of Palladio was revived, and provided an answer to the cacophonous architectural assemblage of the Baroque. In France, Neoclassicism was eroticized by Joseph-Marie Vienne, but it took a temperamental and ambitious young artist, Jacques-Louis David, to bring the neoclassical style into the high-status realm of history painting. In the Oath of the Horatii, 1785, Neoclassicism was hardened in outline, strengthened in color, masculinized in theme by the nephew of Boucher. Although this painting caused an upheaval when it was exhibited in the Salon of 1785 because of the assertive announcement of a new style, the oath was incorrectly assumed years later to be a statement of rebellion against the unpopular French king, Louis XVI. Despite the fact that David was supporting allegiance to authority, public opinion shifted against the king and his feckless queen, the Austrian Marie Antoinette. The French Revolution exploded in 1789, ending the monarchy, the divine rights of kings, decimating the aristocracy as a class, discrediting the church, and plunged the nation into a state of chaos and war. The impact upon artists was profound. Overnight, traditional patrons for artists and designers were gone. Elizabeth Vigée-Lebrun, loyal to the Queen, fled France and continued her successful career painting the aristocracy of Eastern Europe. David, however, rode the wave, nimbly extracting himself from his royal leanings, and became the first painter to the Revolution. And when a new ruler finally stepped into the power vacuum, he became first painter to the Emperor Napoleon. Although David's adroit political shiftings could not survive the fall of Napoleon, his artistic career and his struggle to survive would be prophetic for 19th century artists who had to reinvent themselves. Although David had to go into exile in Belgium, he had re-established the French, no longer royal, Academy. He left behind a healthy institution. But the Academy would become a battleground for artistic quarrels, now unleashed in an uneasy environment, newly competitive. Armed with a vocation only, the artist had to choose between the rules of the Academy and the new and dangerous idea of artistic freedom. The time for art's sake had come.